Hey, I've really been enjoying the new Star Trek, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the prequel show that is following Captain Pike in the USS Enterprise with Spock and Uhura and Number One Una and Commander Noonien Sung and others. And it's like, why not check in? Why not talk about the episodes as they go along? I've waited until episode 4, which I have to say, of the, or no, five episodes so far. And I have to say, of them, this is like, this is the one I've been okay about. This was them trying to do the funny episode, and I found it more like the mildly amusing episode, which was okay. It's Spock Amok, where Spock and, spoilers for this episode, Spock and his fiancee T'Pring switch, accidentally switch bodies and have to kind of make their way, make their way in each other's respective career paths, where she learns a lot more about Spock's career path than she does about his. In some ways, it's I find him punching the dude that she's supposed to kind of bring back to logic. It seems to show kind of a lot less respect for her path than she perhaps gains of his, of service, of getting to be getting to be himself in Star Trek, which he wasn't allowed to be on Vulcan. And also just definitely sowing the seeds where you can see when you get to the original series that, oh, this is not going to be a relationship that works. And in that one, she's much more of a femme fatale. Here, she's definitely far more of a sympathetic person, though played by a super, super gorgeous actress. Yes, yes. Nurse Chapel continues to get to be kind of a super freak. Like, ooh, how cool that you get to switch bodies. It's like you get to experience each other in a different way. I do think she's just a kind of a super freak, sexual freak in a way. Though there is some hints here that maybe she's had some past trauma that makes her incapable of having serious relationships, only wanting physical relationships, which some people just took it as, oh, she just likes having, casual relationships. Isn't that very sexually liberating? But there seems to be a thing of, no, she only wants casual relationships. Thus, she's been damaged in some sort of way, which is actually a pretty highly moralistic take on that kind of a lifestyle. Versus, someone who says like, no, I have good friends and I have sexual partners is something separate. That could also be a thing, but that's very rarely shown in media, especially mainstream media. There's mildly amusing stuff with Number One and Commander Noonien Sung, which is kind of okay. I unfortunately the episode cut off, so I don't think I got to see their payoff of them playing bingo and doing all the cool things. Um, Kind of figured out the negotiations plot with Pike and Spock that ends up being Spock to bring in Spock's body. Kind of callings like, oh, okay, yeah, they're empaths who take on the characteristics. These aliens take on the characteristics of the people they're negotiating, as sort of a way to suss out those people and figure out who they're going to be with. I mean, it was a solid episode. It wasn't like a groaner episode. Um, I loved at the very beginning, they have a dream sequence where Spock is, they've kind of recreated the Amok Time old classic episode where Spock and his fiance have their falling out, and she says that you have to fight my challenger. In this one, it's like you're human. It's a dream sequence, and you're human, and we get to see the actor just as human, and who's going to fight him? But full Vulcan Spock is going to fight him, and they play the classic fight music. Oh, I'll probably get a copyright hit by singing along. Except, I can't. I'm a terrible singer, so probably my own ineptitude saves me. So that was fun. There is definitely fun touches like that. It's They keep on saying Vulcans do not like hijinks, which is a little bit of a pointy-ish at the thing. It was it was a solid episode. It was mildly amusing fun. I don't think it was the high points of more silly episodes of, like, the trouble with tribbles and stuff like that, but it was okay. I actually liked that the body swap wasn't, because my association of the body swap episodes, especially between genders, is the really fucking horrible last episode of Classic Trek, where they have a jilted lover of James T. Kirk swap bodies with Kirk against his will, and you get William Shatner playing a hysterical woman, and it's just deeply, deeply misogynistic episode. It's like, she was frustrated because she wasn't a man, so she could never fulfill her ambitions of being, really great. It's like, it's just, it's definitely 60s. Oh boy, horrible, horrible, sexist episode. I mean, maybe they thought they were being progressive in a way because they're acknowledging that women might get frustrated by it, but showing women who are frustrated by the patriarchy as being hysterical lunatics was not really that great of a message, even I think for the time. But yeah, so at least T'Pring and Spock, there's not any of that kind of bullshit with the episode. It's far more to do with their different values, though I don't think we really got to see T'Pring's values that as clearly. Like, I would have liked to have seen more about her, even if they were doing it for laughs. I mean, Spock punches the guy that she's trying to bring in. She's supposed to bring in for bring him back to logic. But Spock into Pring's body just slugs him, which is just like, oh really? That's good for a laugh, but seems, you know, kind of kind of lame. We have guess the hints of, yes, Nurse Chapel starting to get closer and closer to Spock, more and more. Oh, maybe I'm attracted to him because of his unavailability. Because, if I'm afraid of commitment, then I'm only going to be comfortable getting close to a really unavailable man. And who's more unavailable in the Star Trek universe than sexy old Spock? So yeah, yeah, I enjoyed myself. So that was episode number 5, Spock Amok. And yeah, I'll probably try and just check in with these episodes as we go along, make a little file for it. Maybe go back and talk about the earlier ones if I get a chance. All right, I've been Jay. More videos later.